Welcome. You're tuned in to Jamaica Magazine, and I'm Theodore Henry. It was Charles Dickens who said, "Reflect upon your present blessings, of which every man has many, not on your past misfortunes, of which all men have some." This reminder encourages us to live with gratitude. It's easy and even natural to dwell on the challenges we faced, but in the midst of it all, we must also pause to recognize and give thanks for the many blessings that surround us every day. Stay with us as we have more coming up after the news.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, October 8, 2025. The cargo handling capacity of the Kingston Container Terminal is being strengthened with the arrival of two new state-of-the-art superpost Panamax ship-to-shore gantry cranes. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says this $20 million investment will also strengthen Jamaica's position as a premier transshipment hub in the region and advance its growing role in global trade and logistics. The cranes, which arrived on Tuesday, will be scheduled for installation and testing and then commissioned into service. The port is being operated by Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited KFTL under a 30-year concession agreement with the Port Authority of Jamaica. According to Dr. Holness, since 2020, KFTL's cargo volumes have increased by 55% and are on track to reach 2.5 million TEUs in 2025, a strong signal of confidence in Jamaica's logistics future. The Prime Minister is assuring the country that the strategic training of police officers and investments being made in the force will continue to be at the center of efforts to reduce criminal activities and create a peaceful society. Dr. Holness was speaking on the heels of the mass shooting in Commodore Linstead.
I am confident that the security forces understand the mission. I am confident that they have taken the necessary steps in terms of training, in terms of intelligence, in terms of investigation, and the government has given the support in terms of equipment, legislation, and policy direction to ensure that the mission, which is not just to reduce crime, in particular murders, but to create a peaceful Jamaica.
Dr. Holness says while strides have been made in successfully reducing crime consistently over the past 3 years, it's clear that dangerous persons are among us who are capable of unleashing terror and mayhem on innocent members of the society.
Criminals, evil men, gangsters are still in the midst of our society. And the only thing that protects us from them is our security forces that defend the law. And I say that very importantly. It is in the defense of the law that our security forces have the credibility in the minds of the public to pursue the strategy.
Data from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, show that between January 1 and October 4 this year, murders went down by 40.9%, or 361 fewer deaths. As for shootings, that is down 33.9%, or 271 fewer incidents. The figures are in comparison to the same period in 2024. The Green Paper for the National Policy for Culture, Entertainment and the Creative Economy was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, says broad consultation will now be held with stakeholders. The Green Paper includes several benefits and protections, including safeguards for the Jamaica Entertainers and Creative Insurance Plan, which was recently introduced.
It undergirds incentives around tools of trade, facilitates preferential and free movement of entertainers, creatives and cultural practitioners, strengthen the sector through the recognition, integration and sustainability of associations within the sector.
Minister Grange emphasizes the importance of this policy move, pointing out that Jamaica's creative economy is already a significant contributor to national development, generating over 5% of GDP and supporting nearly 3% of employment.
This performance places entertainment, culture, and the creative industries alongside tourism, construction, agriculture, and other vital pillars of our economy.
According to the Culture and Entertainment Minister, the impetus of this policy design is to accelerate sustainable socio-economic development and growth. This will be done through the provision of an enabling environment for entertainment, culture, and creative industry practitioners, with a strategic plan to address capacity building, investment needs, and infrastructure requirements. The policy will also provide for effective governance frameworks and strengthen regimes for data collection and intellectual property rights protection, as well as increased public access to them. In another significant development, Minister Grange has also announced the establishment of the Jamaica Entertainment and Cultural Development Foundation. The foundation will be designed to provide sustainable funding for the country's cultural and creative sectors.
This foundation will mobilize and direct investments from government, from the diaspora, from private donors, supporting infrastructure development, event and program-centered funding and fundraising, and institutional support, all crucial to the sector's expansion and sustainability.
This new initiative will work alongside the recently launched Institute for Cultural Practitioners, Innovators, Entertainers and Creatives, which will focus on education, innovation and professional development for Jamaica's creative industries.
We are providing an institutional architecture that values and strengthens our cultural identity, prioritizes cultural resource management, nurtures talent, and prepares our creatives for global competition.
And finally, delivery of urology services at the Mandeville Regional Hospital has been strengthened through a donation of critical pieces of equipment valued at over $21 million. The instruments were handed over on Friday by the Manchester Wellness Foundation and include biopsy needles and forceps, stents, and cystoscope. Urology consultant Dr. Mitchell says the tools will enhance patient care with more precise and minimal invasive treatments for prostate cancer and urinary tract issues.
What this allows us to do is to treat patients quickly with minimal invasion, like we said. Patients heal better, heal faster with better outcomes.
Chairman of the Manchester Wellness Foundation, Herschel Ishmael, says that the organization has a mandate to support the improvement of health services in the parish.
Our mandate is to raise funds to upgrade the services in health facilities in Manchester. That's it. Our job is to sit, to strategize, to say how best can we raise funds in order for us to have a better health facility, whether it's in the primary care and the secondary care facility.
Urology services involve medical and surgical treatment for a range of conditions affecting the urinary tract in men and women, as well as the male reproductive system. The Mandeville Urology Services treat patients mainly from Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and Southern Trelawney. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
Have you seen any of these signs and are ready to buy land or property? Want to know who is the legal owner? Purchase a copy of the title using eLand Jamaica. With eLand Jamaica, you can do a title search and verify the owner of the property, ensuring they have the legal right to sell it. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at www.nla.gov.jm, via telephone at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us on WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal, to serve you better.
Today we remember one of our national heroes. This particular hero led a march for justice. His sacrifice paved the way for better conditions for the masses. Find out who he is next.
Born in Stony Gut, St. Thomas in the 1820s, he suffered as a slave. He toiled in the hot sun, working and praying for the day he could say, "Yes, freedom come." And when that day came, the day he was free, the plan of becoming fully independent was his next feat. One he accomplished, small farmer, then landowner, to being one of 106 persons on the voters list, he was well on his way. So much so, he became a Baptist deacon in the village, a true Jamaican activist, angered by the injustices and oppression faced by the people in St. Thomas by one Governor Edward Eyre. So, he gathered his people and marched onward they did, left, right, on October 11, 1865, the day of the Morant Bay Rebellion. Over 500 people died, but not in vain. That special day spurred changes in the social and economic conditions of people not only in St. Thomas, but the entire Jamaica. The Right Excellent Paul Bogle, the man who lived and died for his people on October 24, 1865. A man of honor, a man of truth, our national hero.
The JIS Creator Challenge is back. What's unique about my parish, Salt River, every Saturday morning?
It's the heartbeat of Jamaica, one capital city.
What do I like about Manchester? It's always so cool.
What do you think about St. Thomas? What do you think about one Paul Bogle?
Now it's your turn. Create a video 1 minute or less under the theme, My Parish, My Pride.
Show with the history, the landmarks, the people, the food, anything that's unique to your parish.
Upload your entries to Instagram or TikTok and tag JIS Voice by October 31st.
Follow us on all our platforms for more details on how to enter and the prizes to be won.
Your parish, your story, your pride.
We are upon. Join the JIS Creators Challenge today.
Goat meat has been around for a long time and it shows no signs of leaving our plates. But could it be the next big thing on the market? Find out more next.
How did I get here? The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining has initiated a transformative step to bolster the small ruminant sector on the island. The call is for local farmers to dive into goat rearing with renewed enthusiasm. This encouragement comes with a significant financial incentive: the removal of General Consumption Tax, GCT, and a duty cost for those importing goats to enhance their breeding stock.
Thanks for stopping by again, Kadia.
What is certain is that one of our goat farmers has already answered the call, and we set out to discover what sparked his interest and how his goat rearing business is progressing.
We actually started goat farming in 2019, so this is our 5th year that we've been in the business, and we got our first set of goats from Unity Boar Goat Farm in Mandeville. We started with a full-blood boar ram, and then from there we started to like the business because it's kind of compound interest, you know, one mother gave 2 kids and it grows from there.
All right, well, in the mornings we come in, first thing you do, you go through to the pens and you observe. So this is the maternity ward where we have the mothers with young kids on them. So you want to go through in the day and make sure nobody got squashed, there's no illness, there's no lameness with the legs or anything like that. And then we take the kids from the mothers and put them in a creeper feed where we introduce them to their own feed and water. And this helps to get the ruminants started, where they pick on hay, so that when it's time to wean them off, they are independent of the parents.
I sure enjoy eating curried goat, but touching live ones takes some getting used to.
Then we get our grains from Hypro, and we go through and feed the grains to the different mothers. So each mother gets about 2 pounds of grains each day to sustain as a supplement to the grass and the water that they get. And from there now we move on to the other goats that release in pasture. Being in the business for 4 years and observing my other colleagues in the business, I said to myself, how do I separate myself from the traditional goat farmer?
And you can only separate yourself when you have mastered the basics and are ready to take on a new challenge.
Everybody's just selling goat meat and everybody's enjoying goat meat as curry goat. But then there are many other ways to enjoy goat meat. There's goat sausage, there's goat burger, which is jam goat. You can also have goat pasta, and we have other ideas in line, maybe even goat nuggets. So I decided to put on my thinking hat with my family members and came up with an innovative way of way we can enjoy meat. Plus, goat is actually healthier red meat.
As he said, traditionally, Jamaicans have incorporated goat meat into dishes like curried goat and manish water. But the shocking truth, according to the Ministry of Agriculture, is that over 80% of what we consume as goat meat is actually imported sheep. This revelation shows the importance of supporting local goat farming and that we need to explore diverse ways to prepare and enjoy genuine goat meat. This is where the magic happens. We are now in the agro-processing section of this farm where goat meat is transformed into delectable goat burgers. Although we couldn't capture every step of the process, I can assure you that the journey from raw goat meat to gourmet jam goat burgers exemplifies the statement, your gift will make room for you. I certainly put in the work today as I uncovered the ebbs and flows of goat rearing. But one question remains, is it a lucrative business?
Think about taking $10, putting it aside, coming back, and that $10 is now $40. And you take that $40 with your $10, put it aside, and come back, and it's now $120. Goats is, to me, is a true definition of compound interest. One female goat can give you up to 4 kids. And those 4 kids, if female, can multiply and give you another 4 kids. So, and plus, when you look at our economy, Jamaica is importing $15 million worth of goat meat each year. So the market is wide open for everybody to come and diversify and take a piece of the pie. So why not come and join?
Before we leave, we decided to request one takeaway for the journey. Mr. Henry, can you provide me with advice on how to make this business a success?
Definitely, Katie. With proper planning, proper numbers, calculating your birth season, your kidding season, and what you're trying to market, you have to do all of that so that you can make the success come to reality. And that's how we end up with the idea of
a jam goat burger, of course.
Now that we have developed a goat burger, you can see the tremendous possibilities.
Our heritage is more than history. It's our voice, our power, our future. This September to October, the JIS invites you to join our 2025 Heritage Competition. This year's theme is Our Heritage, Our Voice, Honoring the Struggles, Protecting the Future.
Primary school students, write an essay celebrating the achievements of Jamaicans. Share how we can honor their legacy and protect the future of our nation. Secondary school students, create a poster that reflects the strength of our people and your vision for safeguarding Jamaica's tomorrow. Tertiary students, capture it all in a photograph that tells the story of our people and our future. Enter for a chance to win amazing prizes and have your creativity celebrated across Jamaica.
Submit your entries to our website www.jis.gov.jm by October 24. Grab your pens, your paintbrushes, and your camera and let your voice be heard in the JIS Heritage Competition.
Louise Bennett Coverley, the mother of Jamaican culture, was a true force to be reckoned with. From poetry and performance to radio, television, and film, her influence lives on. Today we look back at some of her unforgettable work.
This short introductory film on ring ding is a brief tease about a larger story. Miss Lou's ring ding was an important start to capturing the hearts and imagination of our children.
No, I will make you as a present of a pretty gold ring.
It's a familiar sound that one would hear back in the day. Yes, you guessed it right. It was ring ding time with Miss Lou. But if you weren't born in the 80s and 70s, thereabout, then chances are you might not be familiar with what I'm talking about. But not to worry. Check somebody in your family or your community to tell you more about Miss Lou.
All right, you come straight down. Stand up here and go straight.
Now, this is the reason why a short 15-minute introductory film remembering and preserving the memory of Dr. Louise Bennett Coverley called Clap Yourself was premiered and shown to a small audience of invited guests at the Louise Bennett Coverley Primary School in Garden Town.
Guess me this riddle, or perhaps not. Guess me this riddle, or perhaps not. When I hear clap yourself, I feel excited. When I hear clap yourself, I feel fantastic.
With Professor Opal Palmer Adisa as lead, and with funding from the Cultural Heritage Exchange Intangible Project of Berkeley, California, through the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica, it highlights poetry expressions from students of the Louise Bennett Coverley Primary School and testimonials from those who took part in ring ding as children. And that was when it was aired on JBC TV back in the late 70s to early 80s.
Well, I remember ring ding as a child, and I was told when I tried to find out that most of the ring ding tapes were lost or taped over. I was really shocked about that because I thought it was such an important cultural legacy. And so I wanted to make sure that those who didn't know about ring ding, remembered ring ding, and that we be reminded that our children still need a ring ding today.
We have this documentary that we were able to sponsor in honor of the life of Miss Lou. And she is just such an incredible cultural icon for Jamaica, and she means so much to the Jamaican people. I got to learn more about Miss Lou through this documentary, and I think that that's what this is about, teaching people what she gave to Jamaica.
My daughter should teach. When we fall, our pastor sick, my son, here I preach.
I think this documentary means is that we have a voice. And I mean, it sounds a little cliche to say we have a voice, but it's important for us as Jamaicans to always take every opportunity to big up ourselves and to know when we've done something great. Miss Lou is something great to Jamaica, and it's an inspiration for us to do more. And I think the documentary allows us to now reimagine and look at all the other ways that we can do more for our culture and just be more as Jamaicans.
And then she says, bruh, I chicken, where you from somewhere? I chicken, no, sir. You never see it. And then she said, anyway, I come here for Christmas. I felt surprised and happy when our teacher came to us and told us that we will be a part of this documentary. It has been a wonderful time. During the documentary, it was fun and we enjoyed the experience. It was a good feeling knowing that we were about to go on TV and YouTube. We enjoyed our exciting opportunity during the documentary, where we got to go to many exciting places and do many exciting things.
What we have seen today is a culmination of effort, and Jamaican children are going to be pleased, because back in the 70s, people like me were part of that experience with Miss Lou. And it is an honor for me to be here.
It is indeed a pleasure to host the launch of the Miss Lou documentary. Miss Lou has left a rich legacy here in Jamaica, and our students and staff, we are continuing that legacy that she left. Today is testament to the fact that culture and the arts is still big in Jamaica, and we just need to push it more. We endeavor our best here at Louise Benny Coverley Primary to do much more to ensure that rich legacy is continued.
There you have it. For those of you who didn't know who Dr. the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley was, now you know. She has left an impressionable mark on our lives at home and abroad. Let's keep our culture alive. Pass it down to your children so they can pass it down to their children. And in the words of Miss Lou, until next time, walk good.
In those first couple of days after baby is born, you are feeling any sort of engorgement. Usually it's because there's some lymph fluid in the breast. We want to do a backward massage to get the lymph fluid back to the rest of the body, and then we can do a forward motion of hand expressing. And how you do that is you use your thumb and your forefinger, you press back into the chest wall, and then you squeeze. At no point in time should we be squeezing the nipple. It's always the areola, because this is where the milk ducts are situated. So you want to press back into the chest wall and squeeze, and then the milk will flow out.
Attention overseas farm work applicants. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security does not charge fees for recruitment or placement for any of the overseas opportunities. If anyone asks you to pay for documents, cards or processing, it is not the ministry's process. You are being misled.
We will never say to you beforehand that you should provide us with documentation and expenses for you to be able to get a card. That's not the ministry's process. It will never be. So once you see or hear of that kind of interaction, you know that you're going down the wrong path. So you have to be very careful.
To confirm authorized recruiters, check the ministry's website or call the ministry directly for verification. Stay informed, stay safe, don't be misled. Farm work applications are free.
We're at the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. You may visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to rewatch this show or to catch up on the others we have on the site. I'm Theodore Henry, telling you thanks for watching from our production team here at the JIS.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.